Hello, everybody. I'm Vladimir. I'm one of the authors of this talk. And the topic we're supposed to talk about is travel. So how many of you live in Amsterdam? Okay, so everybody else supposed to travel to this conference. So we have traveled quite a lot. And this talk is about a romantic profession of hackers and how we spend their free time. So we split the talk in several sections, something like a hacker point of view, something like a victim point of view, some suggestions how to fight with this kind of fraud. So, like, if you travel quite often, you can be a victim of a travel fraud, and sometimes you never know about this. So because we are eager to buy like very cheap tickets and save some money, and hackers know this. We created sometimes underground travel agencies. Sometimes it's really looks like a real agencies, but on the background we use stolen credit cards or something. So it's quite easy to be a victim of a travel fraud wherever you take a taxi, buying airline tickets, or reserving a hotel. So let's talk about the reasons why there is a market demand for travel fraud. So, you know, the process of reservation tickets on the underground agencies is like, for example, if you need a flight, you can say like, I want to go from Amsterdam to Bangkok with business class next week for a week. So this costs like, with this airline, about like $3,000. What can you offer? And hackers came back and give you usually like between 40 and 70% discount. And actually, this is a feedback from the customer. So we flew with business class with a price which is equal to the quarter of the price of the normal economy fare. So underground travel agents are quite flexible. And you shouldn't clean up your money. So we often accept bitcoins. We didn't ask like where you get money and so on. So let's view what underground offered to us. So like what travelers need. So when you travel, what do you need actually? What about you? What do you need? Passport? Money? And what's all? What about hotel, flights, airport transfers, some food, some entertainment? So actually everything is available on the underground market. So like this is one of the banners of travel agencies. This is like a happy traveler. And this is an advertisement of underground travel agencies on Russian-speaking underground forum. So basic services, what is basic? Like when you go into the travel agency, you're supposed to buy tickets of flight, you're supposed to reserve hotel, sometimes transfer. So what about agencies on the underground? It's actually the same. So it's like 35% from the normal price for the hotels, about 40-50% of the normal price for the flights, and high discounts are starting from $1,000. And here, for example, you can see countries like Thailand, Greece, Kipro, Dominicana, Emirates, and like a special offer to tours to Israel. So, and this is not about Russian-speaking market. The problem exists globally. And there are some flavors of particular markets, but everywhere you can buy you can buy like flights, hotels, and taxis. And here you can see like on English and Arabic speaking forum, like offers for booking hotels and flights, among many other interesting offers. So what about hotels? So like for the hotels, hackers prefer some fancy rooms. So like they don't try to save like small amount of money, so we can spend like $1,000. But sometimes we spend this money like to order all villas, which really cost like 5,000 per day or so. On Chinese market, we can see like offers for famous brands. Russian markets are mostly about all-in-one and like customer comfortable offers. So for example, here you can see like a Telegram channel dedicated to the travel. And like the price for the hotels is 30% of the real price, flights 50%, and very interesting exception. We didn't sell flights over Russia. So the thing you can see on many underground forums and among many criminal groups with malware, so like which mobile malware doesn't work in Russia and Russian-speaking country and so on. On some agencies, you can see the similar trends for the travel services. And here you can see a happy customer with quite interesting rented car. And I'm not sure if like person in 18 or 20 years can offer this kind of car for rent with normal price. So when you land in the airport, so yesterday I took a taxi and I paid 60 euros for airport transfer. So how much should I pay if I do it with underground services? So for example, you can see like Uber trips for free USD for 40 minutes, or Uber Black, like more fancy cars, for 10 USD per 2-hour flight. And our agency, which called like Lux Taxi World, offer taxis over the world. And the prices is like for Mercedes S-Class, it's about $12 or like $15 per hour. Airport transfer is like $1 more. And for cheaper car, it's very, very, very interesting prices. So you can match the prices in the real world and on the underground services. So what's the basic services? But what else we need? So as you said, we need travel documents. So travel documents sometimes are used for card fraud. So it's very popular thing like scans of documents, which sometimes required to register account on eShop or on social networks. Scans of documents with your picture, so like person holding a passport, and what's the way how you can recover passport, for example, for OK social network in Russia. But we saw many other things like stolen passports on the sale, and very interesting thing, it's like European passports, where you can provide your personal data. It will be passport on the real blank, but it's not supposed to be on the citizens' database. So as long as police or border control doesn't check you on like electronic base, it's a legit document. And here you can see a driver licenses for a hire. This is Russian driving licenses. And here is very fancy thing. You know what is a green card in the US? So how many people want to get a green card? I think like many people playing in lottery, but this is an offer to win a green card without chance to lose. So you pay around $900 for the service, and you pay when you won. So what's one of the interesting offer? Another offer is here. It's blocking access to Russia for the travelers. So you have a neighbor, you have like a competitor which you don't like. So you can spend like $800 on the Russian underground. And next time when person will travel to kind of sport competition or wherever, it will be arrested on the border, will spend some time on the border control, and when extradited like to the initial country. So what's the fancy services you can find? Does anybody familiar what is like commercial important person? What is the difference between VIP and CIP? Anybody from China? from Asia? Nobody? Okay, so like VIP, it could be like president of the country. So he's supposed to be in the lunch, but he's not always supposed to pay for this. And commercial important person, it's money pocket. So it's a person who ready to spend money for the luxury vacations or something, or for the lunch in the airport. So you can see like offer launch access and like special services at the airport for commercial important persons in China. Guided tours. So like as long as you land somewhere, you want to have a very interesting trip, somewhere to see surroundings. And the normal price on the underground, it's about 25% of the normal price. Sometimes you request available offers. Sometimes you can just point, I need this tour which costs like $100 and pay just 250. And of course, there are interesting notes, like it doesn't work in Russia and ex-USSR. And my minimal price is 5,000 rubles. It's about $80 or $90. We have a good reputation, like we're working more than 4 years. Every client is very valuable for them. So like this is a business, and this is like a not hop on and hop off business. It's long-term business. We saw many travel agencies which work like from 2015 to 2014, and they still have good reputation, and they still providing services for the clients. So here you can see a feedback from, I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago, end of March. VIP Tours Jamaica. So that's one of the happy customers of underground services. So food. So food is cheap in some countries, but doesn't cheap in other countries. So for example, I think in California, it's sometimes cheaper to buy jeans instead of pay for pizza. So for this kind of cases, you can buy gift cards from the restaurants or loyalty points with bitcoins, or sometimes with just cards or electronic payment systems. So you can see like Pizza Hut, Domino Pizza, restaurants, and many others, because we have plenty of offers for this kind of services. Entertainment. So everybody likes cinema. So here you can buy like access for VIP rooms in cinema. You can do it with Telegram. So Telegram is really hardly abused with underground actors. And I would say that it's kind of trend like IRC when underground forums, and everybody now moving to Telegram. So Telegram allows like secret chats, so people can communicate instantly and very fast and secure way. We can promote their services. And if you look into Telegram groups, you can see like tens of 100 people on the groups related to the underground topics. So here like cars for Get Taxi and tickets for the cinema, which cost less than $2. So this is example of one of the shops offer related to the travel industry. So it's price is not in US dollars, actually it's in rubles. You have to divide on something about like 65 or 70. So it's like cinema, Burger King, Accor hotels, 1-2 Trip, and several offers for taxis, and a lot of precautions for the customers. And we will touch this topic again a bit later. So this agency sells like very cheap things, and you can see all-in-ones like air tickets, hotels, autos, concerts, a lot of bonuses, and of course precaution. So so it's Google translated, that's why English may be improper and sometimes it's really fun to read the English version. So and this service accept bitcoins, and it's worked through guarantor service. So tickets to Disneyland available on English-speaking market. A lot of abuses of Ticketmaster where you can buy wherever you want in the terms of entertainment. And of course, very interesting point about loyalty programs of airlines, hotels, or wherever. So along with flights or hotel stays, you can use loyalty points for gift cards or to buy almost everything you need for the travel. So if you don't find something what you need on the underground, you can just buy loyalty points and transfer it to wherever you want. Very interesting service. So sometimes you can do everything electronically. Sometimes you have to have, for example, paper tickets or anything. So there is underground postal service which will deliver you like stolen credit card tickets or wherever you want. It's approved on the several underground forums. You can pay only after delivery, so you don't spend money if service doesn't work. And we accept like a lot of payment systems, like cards from Yandex, Kiwi, which is very popular electronic payment systems in Russia. So what we can see, like how happy are travelers with services. So after making a trip, sometimes seller offer a special offers like extra discounts for the travelers for the video reviews, and people pushing video reviews like in the airport, in the hotels or wherever, and promoting nickname or any contacts of the seller and getting extra discount. So you can see how people drink beer and cocktails and saying happy and saying thank you for this travel agent from this underground actor. So you can see Hilton hotel room. You can see happy traveler to Miami, and he claims like there is no questions from the staff. You just get in the keys and you are in the room. Everything is happy. So since I'm living in Munich, so I found a Munich hotel and a lot of beer from happy traveler to Munich. And there are a lot of other things like you can see like the best travel agents. You can see like made to hotels in Italy, and this is like suits in Rome, Italy, and you can see like a nickname of the actor who sells and like who travel. So technically, like somebody can track the actors who travel, and this is a special gift. So this message claims like one of my customers who buy it a lot asked it to send roses to his girlfriend in France. So and this is the result of the underground travel agency to make a special gift for the girl in our country. And I think like a lot of like women like this kind of size of the gift, I would say. So but sometimes we can see people afraid about quality of service, and they offer to put some deposit from the underground actor. And this is like a booking ticket or reserve ticket, but it's just a Google Translate. As we see, like and person says like everything can happen. So sometimes you will be unable to jump into the plane Or sometimes you come to the hotel and hotel asks you to provide a credit card which you has used it for booking and so on. So not only not every travel ends with happy end. So here you can see example like when traveler was asked about credit card and he was unable to jump into the airport, and this is actually abuse. So it's called arbitrage on the underground service on the underground forum, when not happy customers can feel abuse forum, and when forum moderators decide whether seller should return money or shouldn't. So this is one of the case of unhappy travelers. This is another unhappy customer. So he tried to buy tickets 4 times, and every time like a ticket was both, but when canceled by the airline. So what actually on the background says that it's not matter underground actor which just use a stolen credit card and try to buy tickets directly on the travel agency. So what's the thing which doesn't work? Actually, because many agencies have anti-fraud system, and attackers supposed to use more complicated schemes to buy tickets. So writers. So as long as one agency have a pretty good reputation on the underground forum, and we announce their contacts, for example, for the Telegram, you can see how their like twins appears on the Telegram or somewhere and steal the money from the customer and ruin the reputation. So this is a claim on the underground forum where person tried to buy something and seller says, I have a Telegram without logo or avatar here, and whatever you contact, it wasn't me. And when during the discussion, you can see proof how many duplicates are on the Telegram. So another thing on the travel agency, it's a part of the service advertisement, and this is a very big note at the bottom. So this is so please note my Telegram is this, and you can see L at the end. It's a real account, and be afraid because there is a twin account which will steal your money. So like I think like this usually happened after several abuses from the unhappy customers. So for example here like it's like hi, I'm Sasha, and what's with my money? Where is my money? You ignore me? You write me? Why you ignore me? And when it's like, where is my money on the cycle? So this is like a voice of the victim. Maybe we can make a short break. If videos cache it, I can show you like a feedback from happy travelers. So this guy claims like I'm flying over Russia, so it's a very rare service. And thank you. Okay. Thank you for tickets. Okay, so this is the same seller and a video review of the hotel room. So it's like, watcha, thank you for the hotel. And you can see the room size, the room location, and like what was on the room. So and the room doesn't look very, very cheap. So sometimes you can see villas, sometimes you can see cars which cost like several $100,000. Sometimes people flying like on the business class or first class or wherever. So I think it's Moscow and Moscow State University on the backstage. So it's like hackers from suburbs coming to the capital or wherever here. Here is another review from Telegram channel where people just confirming the quality of services. But whatever, like what happened on the background? So what hackers doing to provide these kind of services? So if you look into English-speaking market, in Chinese market, it's more about like a building blocks for all-in-one services. So you can buy, for example, account with miles for particular airline, like from SkyTeam or like Star Alliance or wherever. You can buy something like sometimes like a gold status for Hilton Hotel. And for Russia, it's totally different. So it's like a real travel agencies with 24/7 support on Telegram or on the phone. So we reissue canceled tickets. Sometimes we saw like seller come to the airport to bring new tickets for the victim of anti-fraud system because a victim was unable to jump into the plane and tickets has been canceled after checking in. So on underground, you can find the things called manuals or step-by-step guides. So here you can see manual for Uber, for short trips, for long trips. This is like hotels and flights and features and concerts and car rental. So it's a step-by-step guides on the sales. So after people buying this, as long as usually it sells to just several buyers. So for example, good manual never sells like for hundreds of people. It usually sells like to 3 or 5 hands. And as long as it not went to the very, very big scale, people doing were like $10,000 or $20,000 per month, and we are happy. And we can see confirmation of another thing when hackers hacks into travel agencies portals and book tickets on behalf of a legit travel agency. So, and this news climb, what it happened. So hackers stole a trip for 47,000 rubles. It's just $700. But the same happened before. And the same happened all the time. Another very interesting abuse, it's kind of business process compromise when people hack it into the travel agencies and they both train tickets and went to the cash desk of a train service and returned tickets for real money. So they earn money like while spending nothing. And the amount was about like 50,000 US dollars at the time. Another approach, like how people think about committing the fraud. So it's not something criminal. It's the way how we abuse a special sales from airlines. So for example, this is a sale from Russian discounter, Discuss It. And you can buy tickets for 8 USD per trip. Tickets not returnable, not refundable, but you can pay like $80 to change the name on the ticket. So what we do, we found a customer closer to the new event. We sell a ticket like 30 times, with 30 times higher price. We spend like around like less than $100 to fix the ticket, and we earn extra like $150 per ticket. And technically, there is nothing criminal in this scheme because everything is legal, everything is allowed by airline. But not mandatory actors use a stolen credit card, and it's like Uber doesn't work. So I think you can do me an hour trip and it's okay because you don't spend your money. And guys say, no, I'm just using stolen credit cards from another supplier. So I'm spending money on stolen credit cards. I can't arrange you another ride. What's your problem? So, and like there are a lot of confirmations about attacks on the booking systems like Sabre and like in our reservation systems which exist. And actually the volume of the fraud, it's like several billions US per year. So, but the problem is like, I think as long as the volume of the fraud lower than fraud resistant rate, so that's the term people use it in the industry, which is usually about like 6 or 5%. Often nobody cares about this because they just put these risks on the price. So this is a funny thing, you know, like if you use Uber or like in another taxi application, you have one application and taxi driver have another one. So what hacker did, they patched a legit application for Yandex Taxi and they sell it on the underground market. So for example, if you're a taxi driver, you're unable to call the customer unless you are 50 meters away from his location. So they fixed it. They fixed fake GPS detection, so customers can be charged more when they ride. We fixed the function that required a regular car review. So if you provide like a BMW X5 car as a taxi, you have to send a regular photos of this car, like to renew your application in your validity, like as a taxi driver for Yandex. We fixed this thing and we fixed a lot of things. So like wherever you don't know what you are a victim of the fraud, you can be victim of this kind of applications used by not fair drivers, I would say. So of course, like it could be like GPS spoofing, and you can see several signs, but it's already happened on the scale and in several parts of the world. So what about airline loyalty programs? So like people consider miles, it's not a money, but for hackers it's a real money. And you can see where, like sales on US speaking market, like particular accounts with miles, or dedicated shops for airline accounts on the Russian underground market. So you can, where people can buy like a building blocks to commit travel fraud. The same situation is with hotels. So wherever you take any famous brand, you can see underground offers for abusing loyalty programs of these hotels. So you can see like Hilton, you can see like Hotels.com, IHG accounts. The same is for car rental companies. So sometimes it's offers to sell loyalty points. Sometimes it's offers to sell something like a gold status where you can get a free upgrade of the car or extra days or something. And it's valid like not only for 6 and Hertz, but for many hours, other agencies. So according to the problems with Telegram in Russia, so Russian government tried to force Telegram to provide encryption keys for the chats. And as long as this news came, some of the travel operators from the underground of the Telegram give a manual how to use VPN with Telegram bot, which made a VPN to maintain availability of the service while you travel if Telegram will be blocked. So another interesting thing that sometimes mentioned, it's a corporate rate for the hotels. So if you Google for images like corporate codes, this is a Google Images, you can find a corporate codes for different corporations, and you can get extra discount. Sometimes it's like 30%, sometimes it's 50% or so. So this thing is abused, but hotels are afraid about this and they are aware about this. So they can ask you for ID from the company you work for. And what's the problem, yes or no? You can buy fake IDs on Chinese-speaking market for like very, very cheap prices, like 1 RMB. And you can find IDs like, for this case, a General Electric. Here you can see a disclaimer from Siemens about abuse of corporate rates for the hotel. So that's really a big problem, but it's almost untold. So what like victims can do with this kind of problems? So if it's corporates, we can use travel fraud systems, which is obviously, and it obviously works, but not for every case. And another suggestion, like look for the bookings from VPN, from Tor nodes, from strange locations. And another things we did, like to detect incidents before, when I work at incident response team, we do retro analysis of everything we have. So like if you have like several cases about fraud, try to find some similarities and do manual rules for your anti-fraud system. And of course, know your customer, like, but it's about what happened with Cambridge Analytica. We know the customers. So it's like quite a dangerous thing. So if you're just a normal traveler, just double check the reputation of the agency, not try to buy like really bargain deals until you confirm it's legit, and protect your accounts. So never use like 123 QZ password for your airline accounts or like for like loyalty points from the hotel. So generally I'm done. If you have any questions. Okay, we're waiting for a microphone. Can you tell the company name you work for before you ask a question? Yeah, Booking? Okay, I'm reading between the lines.
I'm really interested because it's a very interesting topic. I have a question about the loyalty points. Do you see any other way to get loyalty points besides account takeovers?
I think vulnerabilities on like sites of travel agencies is another point. As long as you hack into like that database, you can make account and just change the amount of points and reuse them.
To increase them, you mean?
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Where is the way? Another way, like you can check over account by brute forcing, or you can check over account by intercepting open Wi-Fi in the hotels or in the airports, or you can do it using like a phishing campaign. So there are a lot of options to do this. Any other question? So nobody from Airbnb? There is one question on this row. And with Airbnb, there was an interesting story. There was a campaign from a Russian bank with like a secret promotion code for, I think, like a MasterCard Black Card holders. And somebody leaked this code, and Airbnb were forced to cancel a lot of existing bookings because it was abused by underground criminals. Because it's supposed to be a very private code, like for several customers or like several hundred customers, but it went into the scale that Airbnb was unable to afford. Yes, your question.
Yes, just wanted to say you can get much better prices if you just make a run for it. Like you use the service and then instead of paying, you just run away.
So it's up to you, actually. I'm not used. My company pays okay
just
for the travel. But if you look into the
the
travel reviews from the real customers of this kind of services, you can split it into several categories. So one is the script kiddies, and flights are often canceled, or like people ask it like to provide credit cards or any other evidence of payment. But in our travel agency has like several hundred of positive reviews and just a couple of cases which has been fixed through the arbitrage. So we use another means of booking which allow them to keep booking active. If you look into the process, usually many agencies suggest to book your flight just 3 or 4 days before the travel. And for many agencies, they doesn't book your return flight unless you land and spend a couple of days in the hotel. But there was a tricky situation and there was discussion on the arbitrage section when one of the person flew into something like Seychelles, spent there like 12 days and decided to get back in 2 next days. He tried to contact the underground forum seller, but seller was on the vacation. And person hangs up for several extra days trying to get almost free tickets, and went both tickets like for a couple $1,000s because there was no options, and wrote an abuse on the underground forum. Any other question?
Hello. Do you see any kind of prosecution against the clients? Like, for example, if I'm going to an airport to get a plane by this way, is there any chance that because it was with a fake credit card or fake loyalty points, some airline or credit card companies are actually prosecuting the client?
So if you look into the news, there was several arrests of the actors who sell. And if you look into the negative comments for the underground travel agencies, the worst thing you usually see, like I was forced to pay for this night in the hotel because I was unable to provide evidence of means of payment. So usually it's not ends up with arrest or something. So as long as person pay for the first night, he wrote abuse to underground travel agency, and this agency just book another hotel in the same location from the next day, for example. So, and the same is for flights. So usually we have like 24/7 support, and we get back with new flights in several hours after abuse.
Any more questions?
Anybody from airlines here? Okay.
How did you travel here?
I spent 190 euros for the trip. It was economy flight, which was 1.5 hours. So it was the normal price. But if you're supposed to travel somewhere quite far away, if you try to buy something on the underground, you can do it cheaper than economy on the business class. But double check the reputation. And I'm not suggest to do this because it's not like, I love it by local laws usually. But there are some processes which are quite legit, or it's kind of gray area. Does anybody need URLs or dorks? Because here I think like nothing is hidden. You can see, or sometimes you can see URLs for forums, or you can use the keywords, or I hide almost everything. So you can look by nicknames, by travel operators of happy travelers, just to Google this, because it's not on the hidden sections of the forums, so everybody can find like the services we want, if they want. Okay? One more question, one more. From organizers. Yeah, organizers actually cover flights, and we can ask organizers how they buy tickets, yes?
Sorry, you keep saying we during your presentation. What what is your active part in that?
So actually, it's a style how Russian speaks. So it's more like a lack of English knowledge, maybe. And I'm saying if you or
You
if
should
we.
definitely
I'm
use
usually
they.
use if, and if it's usually beginning of the phrase. If somewhere I miss it, sorry, I not intend to do this. Thank you for this question. Yeah.